One of my final assignments when I was an instructor, I used to teach a class called Diversity and Inclusion in a Global Society. I know we don't talk about, some people don't want to talk about DEI. I do. Don't bother me none. And one of my final assignments was to my students, and this one I had to do in graduate school, myself in my PhD program, is we had to come up with an idea or really a group project based on something of a consultation that we would do. So if somebody hired us to be a consultant to come speak on this topic, to facilitate discussion around this topic, to teach people on how to address this topic, what would that be? And outline what that is. So I took the assignment even further that I had in my PhD program. And I said to my students, your final project, like we're not even going to be doing no final exam. We got a lot of information we learned, but I'm not here to judge that. I am not here to critique that. I am here to help catapult you to the next level. So their assignment was to come up with an outline for a 30-minute workshop that they would do to address an issue related to DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, impacting their field. They would then have to do a 10-minute pitch based on that idea. Okay? And so basically, everybody in the room was operating as a board, deciding what idea we were going to go forward with or approve. So the peers got to judge the idea. I'm not the single person. Okay? But I love the ideas that my students came up with. Some of the most phenomenal things. And what was so beautiful about it, y'all, is that it was highly educational. I learned about different issues in different fields that I would have never known if they had not been in the class and never had this assignment. But here's the three main important factors of why I had them do this assignment. Number one, I wanted you to be able to use critical thinking and analyzing ideas to think about what are the issues that exist that need solutions. Number two, I wanted you to be able to take this opportunity to write down and pitch your idea. Build the comfort with communication. Build the comfort with submitting your information. Build the comfort around talking about your idea to people. Because I know a number of graduate students are a little bit uncomfortable with doing this. All right. But I wanted my students to leave knowing how to pitch their ideas, how to discuss the areas that are of interest to them or interest to their field. Then number three, I wanted to create an entrepreneurial opportunity or a conference proposal. I told them, you can turn this into a business. You can submit this as a conference proposal for a national association or organization conference you're going to. You could just sit on this idea. You pick your choice. You could do both of them. And y'all, I taught a little over 100 students to actually turn this into a business. That's it. It hurts my heart because it has so many great ideas. So much stuff. I mean, the presentations they created, the pitches that they provided. I mean, I had faculty and staff come in to hear these ideas, and they were completely amazed at what they heard and saw. Some of which were like, I need this person to come do this for us. And so there were opportunities there. And that's what I want you to do. There was no ChatGPT then, but there is now. They had to do with all the extensive work and research to be able to come up with this idea. And so I am cutting all that out by giving you some additional ideas of how you can do this. Okay. So again, you've already entered in the first prompt for ChatGPT, which was how can I use my degree to create a solution for an industry problem that generates income? That's step number one. Step number two, I want you to enter this prompt. What are the first three steps to validate, launch, and profit my idea? Okay? Because now we need to begin to think through the steps that we need to create this business. How do we take it from an idea to something that we can actually make and create that people will want to pay money for? And that's a very important step. This step is really about thinking big picture. It's thinking through the launching of this idea. It's thinking through all the questions that people may ask of why is this relevant? How do you determine the price? Why should we purchase this? These types of things, which is going to funnel into number two. So number two is what business models or pricing strategies will help me monetize this idea. A business that doesn't generate income is not a business. So you need to think through how you're going to monetize this. How are you going to bring in income through this idea that you have? One of the things that I wish that I had thought about intentionally in grad school was how every single course was providing me with knowledge that I could then use to create a product, a service, or something else that could help generate income. Okay. It would have been so good to have that information. And unfortunately, I didn't, y'all. Okay. But I want you to have that. I want you to think about that. But we've got to think about how this is going to make money. Because I don't want you to just be coming up with some random idea and say, I think that works. You've got to test this in the market. You've got to begin to share this information to people, which begins to move us into four, which is how can I market my offering to attract the right audience? You can attract the audience, but is this the right audience for your product, for your service, for your consultations? I want you to think about that more intently and allow ChatGPT to provide you some insight into how you market this. It may be social media, it may be a website. It may be you going doing tables at conferences or events or locations. It may be you showing up to business expos and providing a tablecloth and all these other things where you set up and talk about your product. It may be you selling this to the federal government or doing contracts in that ways. There's a lot of options out there. And I don't want you to sell yourself short. I want you to know and believe that what you have is going to make money. I want you to believe and know that what you have is needed in the marketplace. I want you to believe and know that what you have creates benefits and opportunities to solve problems that people are looking for solutions for. This is just an insight and idea as to what you could do to take you further from the first prompt to really fleshing this business idea out. I'm excited for you. I know you're going to do really well. I've already shared a story of how this worked with my students, and for many of them have some great ideas. One person right now it became a full-fledged consultant in the educational space, and another one became a full-time consultant in the engineering space. Those are the two who really took that assignment and fleshed it out and created something. This was not something they initially thought about before they took that class. This is often something individuals are not thinking about. Starting a business using their graduate degree before they start their graduate program, while they're in their program or after they've completed it. It is never too late to go to school, and it's never too late to enter into this space. Is entrepreneurship scary? Yes, and so is much of life. You've already surpassed one scary moment, which is the decision to pursue your bachelor's degree. I want you to take that insight, that information, those experiences, and say, now what can I do next? Because I don't want you to be so reliant upon one industry, one place to say, this is the only place I can go if I want to generate income. You have more opportunities. If you are ready to take this forward and you want some more assistance, you really want to take these prompts and be serious about creating something with this. You are ready at the point where you're saying, I need something else besides just this degree. I love the degree that I have. I know it's going to provide a lot of opportunities for me, but I need some guidance. Reach out to me, contact me, and I'd love to talk more with you about how you can turn this into something that is going to bring you joy, excitement, and money. With that being said, have a wonderful rest of the day, a wonderful rest of the night. Goodbye.